Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into Nicosia. It's the capital of Cyprus, right?
That's right. A city with just, well, thousands of years of history. It sits right at this incredible crossroads, Europe, Asia, Africa.
A real meeting point. And it has this unique status too, doesn't it? One of the last divided capitals.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the very last ones in the world. A division that really, cuts right through the city. We're hoping to get a better handle on that today.
All right, so for this deep dive, we've got a couple of sources. We looked at nicosia.txt for the historical background, the cultural stuff. And then we also checked out a YouTube transcript from Alex Travels that gives more of a feel for, what it's like on the ground now. Attractions, experiences.
Yeah, boots on the ground perspective. So our aim here is really to weave those together, pull out the key bits of history, look at the culture, and really try to understand the reality of this division.
Okay, let's try and give everyone a really solid but, engaging picture of Nicosia.
Sounds good.
So where do we even begin? Nicosia's story goes way, way back. It wasn't always called Nicosia, was it?
No, that's right. Its earliest roots, we're talking 9th century BCE. Back then, it was a city called Ledra.
Ledra, okay.
And its position, right in the middle of Cyprus, made it super important for trade back then, linking, east and west.
Right.
So right from the start, it was a place where different worlds met.
That's incredible. And that pattern, different influences, different empires, it just continues, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Empire after empire left its mark. You had the Byzantines, for example. They brought a huge religious influence, really shaped the city's spiritual side.
Right.
And then later, the Venetians arrived in the 16th century.
Ah, the Venetians, famous for their big walls, their fortifications. You definitely see that in Nicosia.
You really do. Those Venetian walls, they're incredibly well preserved, still surrounding the old city today. They have these 11 distinct bastions.
Built to keep people out, basically.
Pretty much. They were built in the 16th century specifically to defend against the Ottomans, who were expanding at the time. It was like state-of-the-art military design for the era.
But even those impressive walls, they didn't stop the Ottoman conquest in 1570, did they?
No, ultimately they didn't. But the walls are still there, a really powerful symbol of the city, and they define the old city. Inside, it's this amazing maze, narrow streets, lots of history.
Feels like stepping back in time, I imagine.
It really does. And one key point in those walls is the Famagusta Gate.
Right, which isn't just a gate anymore, is it?
No, exactly. It's been sort of repurposed. Now it houses the Leventis Municipal Museum.
Oh, cool. So you learn about the city's history inside one of its old defenses.
Yeah, it's quite something.
Okay, so let's jump forward quite a bit. To 1974, a really defining moment, the division of the city. What happened there?
Well, 1974 was when Turkey intervened in Cyprus. And the direct result of that was the division of Nicosia. The city was split, the southern part under Greek Cypriot control, and the northern part administered by Turkish Cypriots.
And this isn't just like a line on a map, there's the green line.
Yeah, the green line is very real. It's a buffer zone controlled by the UN, and it physically cuts right through the city.
A constant reminder.
A very stark, constant reminder of the political situation that's still unresolved.
And along that line, Ledra Street seems particularly important. It sounds like it holds a lot of history, but maybe some hope too.
Definitely. Ledra Street, it used to be the main commercial heart, really vibrant. After the division, it became, heavily fortified, really symbolic spot.
Right.
But now it's actually a pedestrian crossing point. You can walk between the two sides there.
Oh, okay.
You do need your passport. There are checks. But just the fact that it's open, it's seen as a step, encouraging interaction.
It's wild how one street can hold all of that. The past, the division, maybe the future. But the green line itself, there are parts of it that are kind of eerie.
Yeah, within the buffer zone itself, you find these places that are just frozen in time. Abandoned buildings, old military posts. And the Ledra Palace Hotel is probably the most famous example. It used to be this grand hotel. Now it just sits there, empty, right in the zone. A silent witness.
See, and that must be pretty powerful.
It really brings home the reality of the division.
And I gather you can actually sort of experience this more directly.
Yes, there are organized tours you can take.
Yeah.
They focus specifically on the political history, the impact of the division. They give you that crucial context, beyond just seeing the buildings.
Right, understanding the human side of it. Okay, let's shift focus a bit to some of the key sites, maybe starting in South Nicosia. The Cyprus Museum sounds like a must-do.
Oh, absolutely essential if you want to get the island's history. It's packed with archaeological finds, ancient Greek, Roman, Byzantine eras. It really lays out the whole long story of Cyprus.
Gives you the foundation. And for art lovers, there's the A.G. Leventis Gallery.
Yeah, that's a great spot. They've got, I think, over 800 paintings. Cypriot artists, Greek artists, other European artists too. Shows the connections, you know.
And then the Folk Art Museum. That's in an interesting building itself.
It is. It's housed in what used to be the Archbishop's Palace.
Oh, right.
So that adds another historical layer to seeing all the folk art exhibits. Connects it to the island's leadership, religious and cultural.
And if you want a bird's eye view, the Shockiless Tower Museum and Observatory.
Perfect for that. You go up the tower, you get these incredible panoramic views of the whole city. See the old town, the new parts, how it all fits together.
Division from above, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the museum part has old photos too, so you can see how Nicosia has changed over time.
Interesting comparison. And of course, there's the Liberty Monument in the south, too. Moving away from museums slightly, what about the Cyprus Handicraft Center? Sounds like you can see traditions in action.
Yeah, it's fantastic for that. You can actually watch artisans working, doing traditional Cypriot crafts like really detailed embroidery, lace making, pottery, weaving baskets.
Real skills.
Absolutely. Skills passed down for generations. And, you know, you can buy unique handmade things there too. It's a great way to connect with the living culture.
Okay, let's virtually hop over the Green Line now into North Nicosia. The Silamai Mosque seems like a really major landmark.
It really is, and it has such a fascinating story. It was originally built as a huge Gothic cathedral, St. Sophia Cathedral, a really grand medieval building.
Wow. Okay, so not originally a mosque.
No. After the Ottoman conquest, it was converted into a mosque. So what you see today is this amazing blend, this mix of Gothic architecture and Ottoman features. It literally tells the city's layered history in its stones.
That's incredible. And another key place in the north is the Buyu Khan.
Yes, the Buyu Khan. It's this wonderfully preserved Ottoman caravanserai from the 16th century.
A caravanserai? That's like an old inn for travelers.
Exactly, yeah. For merchants, travelers, their animals, a place to rest on the road. But today, it's been beautifully restored. It's buzzing. Full of little art galleries, nice cafes, craft shops.
Sounds like a great place to just soak up the atmosphere.
Definitely. A real hub of activity in the old northern part.
It's clear both sides have so much history and culture. But Nicosia isn't just the city center, is it? The wider region has things to offer, too.
Oh, absolutely. If you want to get out of the city, there's plenty to explore. You've got Athalassa National Park nearby.
Okay.
Which is a big green space. Good for walking, hiking, bird watching. There's a lake there, too. Yeah. Nice place to just relax.
And for a complete change of scene, people talk about the Troodos Mountains.
Yeah, the Troodos are stunning. A total contrast to the city. Amazing natural scenery, loads of hiking trails. Gives you a completely different view of Cyprus.
Higher elevation, different climate.
Definitely. One of our sources even mentioned you can get hail up there in winter.
Wow. And there are specific natural spots worth seeing in the Troodos.
Yes, definitely. There are nature trails that follow rivers down from the mountains. You can see waterfalls like Caledonia and Milomaris. Those are quite popular.
Nice.
And for something a bit different, there are these sort of hidden abandoned villages up there, like one called Filani.
Abandoned villages.
Yeah, just left behind. You can still see the old churches, houses, kind of undisturbed. A real glimpse into the past.
Fascinating. Slightly eerie, maybe.
A little bit, yeah. And apparently there's also this incredibly blue lake somewhere up in the mountains. Quite unexpected.
So lots of hidden gems.
Seems like it. Oh, and we can't forget the giant olive tree.
A giant olive tree.
Yeah, apparently it's ancient. Maybe 800 years old, maybe even more. Huge thing. A living piece of history.
Incredible. So Nicosia clearly have this deep, complex past, the division, but it's also a modern city, right? It's living and breathing now.
Absolutely. Despite everything, Nicosia is buzzing. There's a real art scene, cultural events, music festivals happening.
Okay.
Lots of cool cafes, boutique shops popping up.
Okay.
You know, a proper nightlife as well. It's definitely not just stuck in the past.
It sounds incredibly resilient.
I think that's a good word for it. It embraces all that history, the good and the bad, but it's also moving forward.
And that mix of old and new, you can see it physically.
Yeah, Eleftheria Square is a good example. It's this modern plaza design that kind of connects the old walled city with the newer parts of Nicosia. A symbolic link, almost.
Right. So as we kind of pull all this together, what are the main takeaways about Nicosia? What's the essence of it?
Well, you've got this city with incredibly ancient roots. shaped by so many different empires, leaving this rich, complex cultural mix. Then you have the very stark reality of it being a divided capital. But alongside that, there's this clear resilience, this vibrancy. It's a place where, deep history and modern life are constantly interacting.
And were there any moments or details that really stood out for you, kind of aha moments about its character?
For me, probably that blend of styles in places like the Sulamai Mosque, seeing Gothic and Ottoman right next to each other, that really sums up the layers.
Yeah.
And also just the very real physical presence of the Green Line in a modern city. It's not abstract history. It's right there.
Makes it very tangible.
Exactly. And maybe also the contrast, how quickly you can go from the busy city to the quiet and beauty of the Troodos Mountains nearby.
So why should someone listening find Nicosia interesting? What's the relevance for them?
Look, whether you're actually planning a trip or you're just interested in how history, culture, and politics collide, Nicosia offers so much insight.
Yeah.
Understanding this one city, it gives you a lens to look at other complex places around the world. It helps you appreciate, I think, the different ways people live with history and division.
Right. It has broader lessons.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's leave our listeners with something to think about. A final thought. How does actually physically dividing a city like Nicosia change its identity? How does it affect people's daily lives, practically and, symbolically?
That's a deep one.
And maybe what lessons can we take from Nicosia's story when we think about other divided places in the world? Something to chew on after this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.